So uncouth.
I'm hearing quite a lot of echo, just FYI.
I know.
Is that me?
No.
Of course it isn't. Now I can't hear it.
Okay.
I'm like my kids in a car park. Echo, echo, echo.
Oh, I love car parks. Car parks and public toilets. I used to like them too, just for the acoustics. That's the only reason.
Okay. Sure. You stick to that story, Caroline.
Anything that can give you more of your own voice.
It was when I was at school. People would be like, "Where's Caroline?" They'd be like, "She's in the toilets." And they'd be like, "Why? What's she doing in there?" I'd be like, "Somewhere." I'd be in the part. I'd be singing just in the cubicles.
Welcome to So Uncouth, the podcast filled with conversations you can't have in polite company. Some people just aren't in polite company ever, are they?
No.
I've designed my whole life to be that way.
I'm Victoria Hannaford, a recovering journalist. I'm with Caroline Craig, an actor and solo singer. You'll find her in a car park near you.
Or a toilet.
Somewhere over the cistern. That's where I am.
And our friend, the mysterious Bunsen burner, who recently celebrated a birthday but could be aging backwards given the level of mystery around her identity. Is she our very own Bunsen Button? We are three friends. We live in three different cities, and you're joining our weekly catch-up, and we're very happy you're here with us. Now, Bunsen, how was your week? Let's touch on the birthday. Was it good? I want to hear all about it.
I've almost kind of forgotten my birthday, to be completely honest.
Well, that's enough then. That's fine. What else happened?
Which perhaps gives a clue to the fact that I am not, in fact, aging backwards, but forwards in a conventional manner.
Losing a bit of your memory at the same time.
Exactly. So I finished a pretty big job about a week ago, which I can't talk about.
Top secret mission.
It could have been something that relates to national security. I could have been made redundant for being a COVID contact tracer. Who knows? Anyway, but the point is I am getting older, and I had also not been to a doctor for a very long time because I'd been extremely busy and important. So I went to my GP and, of course, got many raps over the knuckles for all of these health things that I need to be on top of.
The midlife checkup.
And one of them was, in fact, a skin check. And because skin cancer runs in my family, I go to this insane place. You go in, the whole thing takes an hour and a half. It's not just someone eyeballing your freckles. It's like they take photographs of every single patch of your body.
Wow.
And then they store them. And then they compare them for future checks.
Are we talking about a mole map?
I don't know what kind of map.
Are they playing Your Body is a Wonderland by John Mayer in the background?
They should be. I tell you what.
But that's a lot of time.
It was so full on. So anyway, so you go in and there's just like this monosyllabic woman who just takes photos of every patch of your skin. I, of course, was supposed to go every year. And I've been saying to myself, got to book that.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
And, of course, I've been doing that as I discovered when I snuck a look at the computer screen, 26 months.
That's like at someone's Instagram post about the age of their baby, 26 months.
Exactly. And it's really confronting because you're kind of like, they take photos of you kind of against a green screen and you're nude except for your underpants. And, of course, I completely didn't dress for the occasion.
What if you've got moles on your bum?
Don't worry, they investigate everything.
Okay.
I won't go too far into it. But
it sounds like something that would happen to Caroline in a casting situation, like a green screen.
Green screen, get down to your undies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're casting for melanomas.
Yeah.
We're looking for those who've grown in the last 24 months and whose performance is increasing and their productivity is like right up there. The most confronting thing, though, was that because you have photos of yourself at 24 months ago, they then superimpose your body onto like the last ones. So I could see, that my outline has increased in girth slightly. But
no, not really though.
Not as much as I thought, to be quite honest. But the most incredible thing is that in that time, since then, I have had a boob reduction and had 1.8 kilograms removed from my chest area. That's how much they took.
Mm.
Right?
On each boob or collective boob weight?
Collectively.
Wow. Sounds a lot. It sounds a
Yeah.
lot.
The most incredible thing, right, was that where this might be too graphic, it might be, as
No,
some people like to say, TMI. There's never too much TMI where I'm concerned. But anyway, but the most fascinating thing was that in this superimposed kind of vision of myself, I could see where my nipple used to be is now where the bottom of my boob is.
Wow.
Oh.
That's a huge reduction.
And lift, mate, lift,
I lift, yeah.
lift.
So is the lift sort of inherent in the reduction? That's always going to be part of it. Like you can't really reduce without lifting because of the way they kind of do it. It's like a keyhole.
It's
kind of
certainly
shape or
not
something.
a keyhole. There's no keyhole.
No, like a key,
I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
The shape.
It's not keyhole surgery. That's what you're saying.
No, not with the removal of 1.8. No, like as in things. There's a kind of scar that could look like a key from a certain angle.
And in fact, I could see her examining some of my scars, like as in kind of like, is that something? And then she could see that they were scars. But again, wordless. But the most uncouth thing that happened at the end of this, you get dressed, then you go back, sit in the waiting room, and then you have to get undressed and go and and wear a flimsy gown, which of course I put on the wrong way, but let's not go there.
Did you? It opens at the front. Is that what you thought? Do you reckon it opens at the front?
Yeah, it opens at the back.
A classic Bunsen.
Yeah, and then you have to go and see the doctor. And this is a doctor who last time said to me, gave me the biggest talk and was kind of like, you have the worst possible skin that you can have because you've got an olive base, but you're essentially also a redhead in terms of freckles.
I'm very confused by this.
How alarmist. That's so alarmist.
It does add to your mystique because I can't get a read on that at all.
I know. Well, some people have asked me if I'm Mauritian. Other people, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But
we are still going to keep your identity secret, though, because look at that. I mean, you've got all your bases covered there. You've got an olive base. You've got a redhead ranger base. You've got all bases covered.
Exactly. Anyway, and this time he kind of kept me in suspense for ages. He then does a forensic examination as well.
Wow.
And then
You got your money's worth. That's good.
he comes in with a little container of dry ice ready to burn shit.
I've had that. That's good. That's fun.
Oh, not dry ice. Is it dry ice?
Yeah,
Whatever
it
it
is.
is. That,
Yeah,
it's dry ice.
ice.
Yep.
And then at the end, he looks at me and he goes, and it's almost like he's pissed off. He goes, well, got away with it this time, didn't you?
Oh,
So
narrowly.
it's good news, everyone. Sort of.
What did they do with the dry ice? That's what I want to know.
Nothing. He just carries it around.
Oh, he didn't burn anything off here.
No.
So it's sort of like congratulations for not having the skin cancer that I predicted, even though your skin's really bad. He sounds like someone from my double negative school of thought.
It's coming. It's coming. Get ready. But, you dodged it today. That's what's
But just like a backhanded compliment. Like you dodged it even though you're a terrible person.
Yeah.
Like you can't help the skin you have.
It's a quite good strategy, I reckon, because it does make me kind of go, okay, yeah, I do really need to keep on top of it. But the problem is
What does that mean? What does keeping on top of it mean? Sunscreen?
going back every year, yes, sunscreen and hats. But
Maybe you need to wear those hats, like those Legionnaires hats.
I got one of them.
Just every day. Just every day.
yeah, I'm going to just get around in a balaclava.
Yeah, or one of those visors. I saw a woman wearing a whole full visor over her face the other day. The sun wasn't even shining.
I've also got one of them.
But I think it's quite a good strategy, except for the fact that I do think it's going to take me another 26 months or whatever it is to just build up to going again through that extremely confronting process. Like it's awful.
Is that how you celebrated your birthday? Is that how we got there? That's
No one knows how we got there. We just got there.
You're going to see another one. You're going to see another birthday. That's what that doctor was trying to tell you. He was This is a backhanded, forward hand, happy birthday for next year. Things are going great. See you in 26 months.
Oh, fuck.
So uncouth.
I want to hear about your week, Caroline Creag, because we got an update from you last night that you were in the midst of a breaking uncouth situation.
It was.
I want to let's do it like it's like a delayed broadcast. let's report from the front lines of Uncouth. What happened, Caroline?
If I hadn't been so terrified on the ground, I might have been able to do a live broadcast. All I was trying to do was get from Sydney to Melbourne, all right? Wasn't much. I wasn't asking for much. I mean, it is 2 cities, 2 states. I was doing my best. I had all my bags out of the Adina, started early in the day, ran out on the street late as usual. I'm going to get a cab. Cab slows down. And I say to the guy, I need to get down to Hickson Road. I'm late. He looks at me.
Sorry.
Gives me a bad look. As Comet, I wish you were there to help me. And then just drives away. Doesn't say anything, just drives away.
That's a silent escape.
Not even a shake of the head, not even like I'm finishing my shift or anything. Then I try to get a bus, right? There's a bus waiting there. There's a bus driver sitting outside of the bus. And I say, oh, is this your bus? And he's looking at his phone, ignores me. So I'm sorry, excuse me, is this your bus? Could it take me to Bondi Junction? And he's like, Google get directions. And then looks back at his phone.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, okay, all right. Now I'm really feeling like it's time to go home. So I just walk. up the steps, all my bags, walk under the bridge. Of course, you can't get anywhere because Vivid is setting up, right? And Vivid just looks amazing. But it's during the day and it's basically just a hell ton of hoarding. So I'm just walking, finally get there, get back to Melbourne. Also, everyone is hacking and coughing and snorting and rubbing their eyes on the aeroplane, right? And I'm the understudy for this show. So if I
it's
get
the flirt variant of COVID.
Yeah, I was flirting with flirt. And of course, I sit down as the plane takes off. I always do, carbon monoxide in the air, oxygen dropping, pass out with my mouth wide open, sucking in every possible spore and spike protein available. And I wake up and go, oh, that's right. I can't get sick. Oh, no, people are depending on me. Crap. I don't have a mask. Nothing. Oh, well, I quickly get off the plane, get to that taxi rank, right? And because Uber has kind of taken over the airport and the whole world, let's face it.
Can I just say 2 words here? Fuck Uber.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm kind of anti-Uber because I don't think they pay people properly. I think there's a lot of things wrong with it. So anyway, also I've got a cab charge, right, which I need to use that the company is giving me, and my phone is about to die. So I'm like, please can I get a cab charge?
Can I just say the phone about to die is a classic element of danger. It's like the clock is ticking and then they add another obstacle. But that's your life, Caroline Craig. It's like a high stakes drama.
What I don't understand is why in almost every single time I see you, you have flat bat. And it's been that way since you got a mobile phone.
Well,
it's not dependent on the battery life of the phone. There's a common denominator.
It's life choices, okay? I could plug it in or I could just keep moving. And it has zero red on it.
She's mobile, less phone, more mobile.
Exactly, more mobile, less phone. That's the whole problem with it. It's the mobile part of the phone thing I don't like. Anyway, the constant notifications I always get are 10% remaining. 10%.
And you're glass half full, right? Whereas I'm glass half empty. And I'm like, oh, plug it in.
Hoping to plug it in a taxi, right? So there I am waiting in the taxi, right? Heaps of people, all these cabs are pulling in. And the guy who's trying to manage it in the, the bright high vis gear is running around going, not you, to the cab driver, get back. And you have to keep moving. And a woman standing next to me going, what's going on here? What's going on? And I said, oh, last time I was in this taxi rank, I got in a taxi, just happened to be a Jaguar, I noticed, as it was taking off. And I ended up paying $130 to get into the city, right? This is me. I said, there's a scam going on. And the guy's like, yeah, there's a scam going on. There's scam drivers saying they're taxi drivers and they're just going to take all your money. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get in one of these. All these taxis come. None of them will take a cab charge. None of them, half of them are really dodgy. It just was really hectic. Finally, I get in this taxi and I lean into this guy and I'm like, do you take a cab charge? Can I charge up my phone in order to give it to you? He's like, why are you asking me that? Everyone should take a cab charge. That's ridiculous. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, these guys, there's a scam. I'll get in. I don't pick up. I'm so desperate to get home by this point. I'm like, I don't really pick up that maybe there's a little bit of unchecked aggression coming from this guy, right? I don't seem to pick that up, right? I'm busy just putting my bags in. I'm getting in the car. I get in the car and he pulls out into the traffic straight away and he is hell for leather driving 100 clicks like in a 60 zone.
Oh, mate.
It was so terrifying. And he's like ducking in and out, weaving in and out of all the. Then he's going into the fast lane on the freeway and flashing his lights.
You are like Liam Neeson in Taken. You're like a hostage in this situation.
I freaking. Also, he's like bang, 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 bang on the lock button, so all the windows and doors lock. And I was like, oh shit, what have I done? I've got in the wrong place. I should have gone with the dodgy scammers. At least they had a nice car and they drove quietly and asked me questions. I didn't want to ask this guy any questions. He's like, where do you come from? And I was like, Sydney. It wasn't great. And then he starts going like this, right? In the silence, I just like, I'm going to be silent.
Was he asleep? What was that? Sleep apnea?
Sleep apnea. So it was so disgusting. But I was too terrified by this point because he's driving at 100 kilometres an hour, beeping and tooting everyone, snorting huge. And I just said, yeah, I was on a plane. Heaps of people were snorting and coughing and everything. He's like, and he keeps like, and he's about to wind down the window and shoot a loogie out the window.
But it would have been going very fast. Like
exactly. It was just going to fly back in the window, back onto me. So you know what I did, guys? I was so terrified.
What?
I did a silent fart.
The old dirty silent protest.
And what happened?
I thought I should actually stand up for myself and say, hey, could you slow down a bit? But I'm so freaking terrified.
Oh,
But it came out of you.
Yeah. And then I just thought, well, I can't even open the windows now, dude, because he locked it. So
Ooh.
literally sucked in. So there you go.
How bad was it? Was it a real bad one?
It was pretty bad, yeah. And I sat in it for a long time.
Well, it sounds like at least he got you home pretty quick. I mean, there is that.
You know what I did? I just silently went through the misogyny speech in my head. The Julia Gillard speech. I just thought I'll just keep going through my lines. I won't say anything. I got home safe, guys. I got home safe.
Okay, well done.
It was an uncouth situation and it was edgy.
You know what, though? I reckon that both you and he were using a tactic that I heard about this week, which is to essentially use disgusting bodily functions to repel other people when in situations of danger. So I heard about a friend of a friend. She just does a lot of intrepid travel. And if she's in a tricky situation and there's a guy that's kind of, perhaps being a bit threatening or whatever, she looks him in the eye, picks her nose and eats it. Says it works every time.
I think we know who this person is, and I find it interesting. Well, actually, there's another take on this. Farting in the workplace, which I believe you were doing, Caroline.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what else to do. And it was actually my body. My body was
This
telling
is a
me.
legal issue, Bunsen. So
And it's also my area of expertise, let's face it.
exactly. So this is like a Venn diagram that is, in fact, one perfect circle. Farting in the workplace, banter or bullying. There was a Fair Work issue where someone was accused of bullying for lifting their butt cheeks and farting in the face of a colleague on a regular basis.
Yeah. Look, no, that's...
When is farting not funny is a subheading in this article from chamberlains.com.au, who I believe are lawyers.
Highly
So,
lawyers. Goodness me, is someone up on charges? Is someone mounting a civil case?
It was a workplace issue and it went to the Fair Work Ombudsman. But I think we can leave that in the hearts and minds of the So Uncouth community. When is farting not funny?
I'm just impressed that someone can actually do it on purpose.
Bunsen, that doesn't sound like that's something you can't do.
So uncouth.
Let's turn our hearts and minds to my week.
Thank you.
And we're back on the quiz train, guys.
Oh, great.
Or perhaps it's a rail replacement bus service, given the usual design of my quizzes. Sometimes a little bit sketchy. Anyway, this is relatively straightforward.
Heard that one before.
Is it multiple choice?
It is a multiple choice. I like to keep it fresh, keep it easy. There's 3
There are
options
26 choices.
Yeah.
There's 26 choices, double
We've got a
negatives.
month to choose each one.
I'm sending out a survey. We'll get the data back. I'll misinterpret that and we should be right. Okay. So I was out on a lunchtime constitutional, just listening to some bad music, and I saw an item on the street, and I had a weird out of body moment, and I was like, "Wait, is that mine? How did that get there? Was it A, a lamb chop, B, a bra, C, a crying infant?"
Oh.
Be a bra.
Yeah, I feel like bra too.
It was a bra. It was a bra surrounded by Bonds underwear and a couple of socks. And I was like, oh, what? How did my bra, my kind of stained flesh-coloured bra, end up here? And then I realised that it wasn't, in fact, mine. But I really had a moment where I was like, I just left that behind in my laundry basket. How's it now out on the street? Anyway.
I know it. I knew it wouldn't be the lamb chop because you would have eaten that. There's just no way you'd let that go.
I just really had this moment where I stopped and I felt possessed to almost pick it up, and then I went, no, it's clearly not mine. But what I want to know is, how feral does a bra have to be before you'll throw it out? Because I've got some that I've had for at least a decade. They need to go, and something within me just says no.
Yeah, the one I'm wearing is pretty feral right now, guys. And I think I know exactly what you mean, the stained quality.
What? How do they get stained, ladies? What are you
They
doing?
end up in the black wash, like with all your dark colours.
Oh my God, who's separate? I don't do any separation.
Well, then I don't know how your stuff isn't stained.
What about you drink a minestrone soup and it goes all down your front?
Usually I'm wearing something on top of my bra that gets stained. My stains are not on the, But I previously, because I used to have enormous breasts that required specialist bras that would cost sometimes like $200 a bra.
Are you kidding? $200?
Yeah, they're really sexy.
Yeah, that I wasn't throwing them out, basically. No. I was keeping them going. But if we're talking underpants, I do know that, which we weren't, but now we are. I do know that.
Now we are. Here we are.
Basically, I remember Caroline Craig when she was living with me, maybe I don't know how many years ago, but she actually bought me a whole bunch of new underpants because she was like, I cannot believe you are wearing underpants that are from your boyfriend when you were 17.
That's right. I said, where did you get those undies? She told me his name. And I was like, weren't you in a band with him in 1997? Yes. And she's still wearing the undies.
Weren't they effectively crotchless by that stage? Wouldn't they have just had nothing left to them but a couple of bits of string?
Yeah, pretty much. And so she actually bought me some new underpants, but those are now probably about 12 years old. Or maybe even 15. So I'm probably in the market for some new undies, guys. Just saying.
Birthday.
Okay, so someone needs undies and someone needs a phone charger / extra bat. I've got that locked in. Next time I see you guys, I don't want to say too much, but you might have a couple of gifts wrapped up coming your way.
I like to wear my undies very loose, just by the way.
Yeah, me too. Bunsen, back to the bras and your boobage. Did you do a complete bra refresh after your boobs settled down post-op?
Yeah, I did. I did a whole bra buying thing, and it was a revelation to actually be able to just go get a conventional size, try it on and go, oh my God, it fits. I even bought some swimmers in a box without even trying them on.
Oh, wow.
And that was, that's a risky move.
You've gone stock size. You're stock size now. Boom.
Well, there's nothing stock about me. I'm very special and unique. But I say I bought swimmers in a box. That was from the Aldi Isle of Shame. So it wasn't a great investment if they went pear-shaped. But anyway, all I'm saying is it was a very new thing to be able to just not have to kind of think about that instead of going to a shop that specialised in making specialist bras,
Did you also feel like you had previously had to think about your boobs a lot and now they're kind of off the agenda? Did you have to factor them in?
Yeah. So I had to factor them in a lot when it came to exercise. But the main thing really was just in summer because as you and my skin cancer specialist know, I like to spend quite a bit of time at the beach and in the water during summer, and hanging out with wet swimmers and huge boobs. It's really not fun. And also it's very hard to do a sneaky and discreet change. And as both of you have seen, I just don't really bother with that anyway. So that's, I suppose, kind of fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
been a benefit for the whole community, you'd say.
It has been a benefit for the whole community, but, it's also not unbelievably, like they're still not, it's not like they've completely disappeared. Like it is incredible to me that they are that there was that much to remove and still so much remains,
They look amazing, I will say.
you look
I
great.
think your
You look great.
cleavage is phenomenal now. It is absolutely. So if you can't see it, my two eyes, it's a real treat. So it's been a benefit to the community in a number of ways, Bunsen. I will say that because your cleavage is spectacular.
Thanks,
It always was, but it's like it's A triple plus now. It's looking real good.
Well, it's not a G or an H, which is good because that's what it was.
Yeah.
What about you, Victoria? It sounds like you might need some new lingerie.
Well, judging my out-of-body experience with the ratty stained bra on the street, probably, yeah. But I do buy some, but it's an absolute shot in the dark with bra sizes. You just end up with what you end up. Sometimes you end up with 4 boobs as a result of some poor fitting bra, and that's life. Everyone just has to deal with it. I look like someone from an alien population, and that's cool with me. Let's get under the hood of So Uncouth for a minute. I've had a bit of feedback from the community. They seem to think we do a lot of preparation, and I just want to disabuse them of that we do. In fact, we do close to zero preparation for this catch-up because we are just spontaneously coming together and having a chat. However, Bunsen, you did give me a scintilla of information, and that is that you would like to share something with us and with the Couth. I believe it might leave us hanging on the edge of our seats. What is it, Bunsen?
It's a cliffhanger, okay? This is a cliffhanger, okay? In the industry, that's what they call it, I believe. So, as we know, our biggest area of expertise is ourselves. So, once again, this revolves around me and my body.
The truth is in
as
you.
part of my well, let's see.
The body keeps the score, mate.
Go, let's hear it.
So as part of this kind of like MOT situation or whatever, I also have to go for another colonoscopy.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
The last time I went for a colonoscopy, I won't go into too many details, but my report card said that my preparation was fair.
Fair. I remember that.
And I was pretty outraged because I tell you what, you go through a lot to prepare for those things. And I thought I'd done a pretty good job. I like to get good marks, okay?
We know that.
I know. I felt very upset about that. So I decided in preparation for next week that I was going to look into the grading system, okay? What is fair and what does that mean? And
is that the midpoint?
And no, it's not. It's really bad. And I wasn't very happy about that. I did actually even there are some things that are too uncouth even for me. I did discover that in the research for this.
Oh, thank God.
We won't be going too far, but I want to read you I want to read you something. Don't worry, Caroline. It's fine. I want to read you something.
Medical.
It's medical. This is a peer-reviewed article. Well, is it peer-reviewed?
Science.
I don't know.
Are we women in STEM? Maybe we are.
The heading is, when is a fair bowel preparation fair enough? ? Anyway.
I feel judgment in that title already.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, don't worry. I'm not going to go into any gritty details. But here we go. I'm just going to read this to you. Although it has been proposed that terms such as excellent, good, fair, and poor be used as descriptors, these terms admittedly lack objectivity. So what I'm saying is, was my preparation really fair? Who is really the judge of this?
Is it a bit bowels are in the eye of the beholder?
Yeah, but unfortunately I'm going to be out of it, so I'm not going to be able to see it. But
I think there's only 2 grades here, and it's fair or poor, isn't it?
No,
like,
it's
excellent.
Excellent.
How can you be excellent?
Excellent, good, fair, and poor.
You give them a limo and a bunch of roses? Like, come on.
Can-
you can't get better than fair.
Can I
Well,
ask
listen-
you some details here? Like, what is the preparation involved? All I know is that my stepdad is always eating white foods in preparation for something. Is
Oh,
that what
mate.
you need to do? Is it?
I think we don't
You
want
are living in ignorance. Okay, listen.
blissful ignorance.
Victoria is shaking her head, but I'm going to tell you, she's the editor. She can cut it out if she wants. So basically, what you have to do is you eat. Listen, I can't remember the white food regime.
White
There is
food, that's what I
there
heard.
is something in there, but basically, you take this you have to drink this horrendous concoction, and then they just say, just make sure that you're near a toilet. and then-
Oh.
And basically, it cleans you out. But by the end of it, you are supposed to, Caroline's going, that sounds pretty good. I wouldn't mind being cleaned
maybe
out.
I should have necked a couple of them before I got in that cab.
Oh, mate. but then basically, by the end of it, what you are not, you're doing something that you don't even know that your body can do, which is essentially, you are weeing out of your ass.
Okay.
And to get a tick, it has to be and kind of transparent. It's not even like it's just
absolutely.
Oh, God. All right. Listen, I just want to issue 2 disclaimers here. 1, I may bleep a lot of that. And 2, neither of yous, and I am certainly not a doctor, so take all of that information advisedly with that caveat. In that cavity caveat that we are not, in fact, trained medical professionals, and scenarios may differ. Let's just say.
but the cliffhanger, let's get to the cliffhanger is
Let's get to the cliffhanger.
what's my mark going to be next week? Because I'm having it on Friday. I'm going to put in as much effort as I can. I might be a little woozy when I see you next week, but I'm going to have some results and I'm going to share them with you, okay?
Oh, God.
Holy shit. That's all I can say.
So uncouth.
Well, it's nearly time for us to wrap things up, and thank God, because how much more can we take? Our So Uncouth of the
much.
week. Now,
It's really uncouth.
we're here. This is a non-judgmental space. Sometimes we judge.
Yeah.
All right, time for our So Uncouth of the week. Now, we are planning on catching up in a few weeks' time for another friend's birthday celebration. So what this has led me to do is to check out some of the facts, policies, offers available with some of our local airlines. And I have discovered something that I would call uncouth corporate behaviour. A bit of a rort, some might say.
Mm.
And that is airlines charging for an absence of passengers in the seat next to you.
Oh, what?
Exactly. There is a complete flaw in this alleged deal. So, if you are sort of happening to book something and it looks like the plane's a little bit empty, suddenly up pops at some point in your customer experience. Maybe it's just before the day before you're going to get on the plane. Would you like to keep the seat next to you neighbour free, or similar kind of wording? And you can pay a premium. However, there's no guarantee that you will in fact get that seat free.
Oh, that's
So it's-
dodgy.
Oh, they're trying to make
You
you
kind
pay to subsidise their empty flight.
Exactly.
You know what
You're
that's
paying
called?
for fresh air.
It's called genius. It's genius.
Wide load insurance, right? Because you want to have a bit of space so you can let all your bits hang out. That's what you need.
So you can man spread.
yeah, pretty
Like-
much.
Yeah, exactly. It's with impunity. But it just, if the seats ends up being occupied
That's crazy,
due to the
man.
plane being full, you don't pay. This is just a ridiculous scenario.
It's also, but what you do is, if the plane looks like it's going to be empty, you wait until the seatbelt sign goes off. It's like a race, and then you run to a seat that is kind of doesn't have anyone sitting next to it for free, mate. You do that for free.
Exactly. This is what I just thought. I was like, I'm many things, but even I'm not stupid enough to fall for that. And what else could you charge for not doing? I think in Caroline's case, it could be you could charge for not farting on your cab driver. But
I didn't mean to. I mean, let's be honest. And then, of course, the guy got out of the taxi and
that's a bloody lie, Caroline. You absolutely
he seemed quite
meant to.
nice at the end. Maybe he just had nasal congestion, bad sinuses. It's not his fault.
I think you farted him into submission, and I think that was a worthy tactic.
I think you cleared him out, mate. It was like a eucalyptus kind of sinus
He was
clearing
pretty
situation.
keen to get out and get my bags. You know, he just needed some oxygen.
a brilliant strategy, and maybe you should offer a subscription service of not farting on people.
I should be charging him.
Exactly, that's right. And maybe we'll add a subscriber-only podcast option of white noise or perhaps silence, just half an hour of quiet for whatever you want to do. You're welcome. And on that note, I will cop yous later. Enjoy the silence.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So